What is good? We're out here today doing some more drift outlaws, like we can see beautifully over here. Weather's looking good, wind is a bit bad. Joel's second shooter today again. Let's hope he can do something for us. Yeah, fuck no.
It's
Definitely is something else. So, what do you think is going to be happening today?
fucking amazing shit.
Like every time we go out and drifting. But yeah, we're going to a pretty cool spot to watch the practice. Hopefully we can see some sick war runs. Mr. Black Ops, Miguel, the OG, running, setting up all the angles over here, like a TV show. parking skills. Love it. As we come into the end of practice here, I would just like to thank everyone who liked, subscribed, and left comments on my previous videos. It really motivates me to make these videos and to keep on filming them and editing them. Editing does take quite some time, but yeah, we'll do it for fun, you know. But yeah, so we are about to head into the competition. The thing is with the competition clips, unfortunately the wind noise was extremely bad, because of on the day the wind was winding pretty hard. Yeah, I will try my best to do a little bit of a voiceover for you guys here to show the battles. So for today's voiceover, when it comes to the battles, we had a bit of a like a mixed matched type of a grid layout for the day for the complete team drivers, because of the fact that we only had like a certain amount of drivers, and in order to run a top 16 bracket you need to have 16 drivers. Unfortunately we didn't have 16 drivers, so we had to had some people go against other people and then swap them around and stuff to get them in the correct order and to score them correctly. So for the voiceover today, we'll just basically be walking you through everything that had happened and then through the battles. I don't have them in the correct order specifically, but I'll do my best to showcase what I've got in the footage. So first battle coming up is going to be Ingo versus Samantha Stemmet. So she was actually driving without a handbrake on this day. So for someone driving a car without a handbrake, I think she did pretty good. Ingo is also a new driver joining the series. I haven't seen him drift before, but he also did a pretty good job. He's got a SR20 in his SX, so he was getting down that day. So like we can see here, Ingo launching off not too great, could have done better, but he got it at the end of the day. He got into most of the zones, and then is where the Z without the handbrake unfortunately fell out. So that would mean that Ingo progresses to the next bracket basically. Coming up next, we've got Daniel Blazer versus Johandre. So these two drive pretty well together. They always put it on each other's doors. They have a very good chemistry, I would say. They can both lead and chase very well. And then the fact that they know each other's driving styles so well always makes for great close tandems, like you probably see in the practice clips as well. They get down pretty good. So like we can see there, absolutely amazing run, minimal mistakes from both drivers. And then here we've got Johandre coming in, filling that first zone beautifully, coming into the second zone, filling that as well beautifully. Like we can see here, he lacked Daniel Blazer lacked a bit of proximity, and then he basically just fell out right there when it comes to the proximity, giving Johandre the win on that one. And then here we have one of those mixed match battles. This would be Julian Scott versus Juan Stemmet, to see, I think basically it was, if Julian lost, he got fourth place. So like we can see here, there was some mistakes from Julian, a little bit of a hesitation here and there. And then in Juan's lead, you'll see he absolutely demolishes the course. Also notable to say that he had second gear the whole time. Someone actually had to sit in his passenger side and keep the car in second gear because it was popping out of gear all the time. He had a gearbox failure, even though he still took the win on that one. Here we have Razik versus Daniel Blazer, another one of those mixed match battles to see who gets on the low end of the bracket. Like we can see, Razik filling the zone over there, Daniel not keeping up with him when it comes to the proximity side of things. I think we did have a little bit of a decision if it might have been because of the initiation. But yeah, like we can see there. Here we go for the next one. So this would be Daniel leading and Razik chasing. So beautiful entry there from Daniel, but like we can see, Razik is exactly mirroring him. Razik lost a bit of angle over there, and then Razik lost it over there, unfortunately. So that win would go to Daniel because of the fact that Razik completely lost everything right there. And then up next, we've got Julian versus Ronnie. This is one of the clips from the beginning. This is probably the biggest thing that I've ever seen in drifting. So like we can see here, Ronnie absolutely demolishing the course, and then we can see here Ronnie just went a little bit too wide, tapped the back, and then the front went into the tire wall, unfortunately. We've got Quinton versus Johandre. Quinton in a JZX straight out of Japan. Pretty cool. We can hear his engine sounding a little bit weird. I think he might have lost like a boost pipe or something. But yeah, like you can see here, he's not driving as well as he drove in practice. I think he had some kind of mechanical issue making him drive a bit weird. Johandre just doing his best there to follow the line. And then here we have Johandre in the lead, like we can see, filling the zones beautifully. Unfortunately, Quinton is not completely where we want him to be. He is trying to mirror everything that Johandre is doing, but he is lacking a bit there. Like we can see, he's not as much angle as Johandre in every space, so that gave the win to Johandre. So here we have Ingo versus Juan Stemmet, and then we can see here Ingo did a little bit better than in his first run. We can see Juan closing the gap on him, and then right there at the inner clip we can see a little bit of ground made by Ingo, but then unfortunately straightened. So yeah, straightening is never good for your score. And then here we have Juan leading Ingo, and like you can expect, Juan with his big V8 absolutely just gaps him. It looks like a drag race when it comes to the start. Juan filling the zones pretty good, and then Ingo basically just following along for the ride. With that, the win goes to Juan because of the fact that he absolutely gapped him on that, and Ingo couldn't keep up with him. Next up, we've got another new guy, Freddy from Wheel Traders, I believe. I don't know his full name, but yeah, it's got this beautiful E92 shaped 335i with the LS3 in it, and just also, like you saw in practice, he was doing pretty good. And then yeah, his lead was amazing, and like we saw there, Quinton just tapping the rear ever so slightly. And here we've got Quinton in the lead and Freddy chasing. Up until there, it was a pretty close decision, but right about there, fortunately, the BMW lost a bit of ground, and then giving Quinton the win on that one. Would have loved to see the BMW in the finals, but unfortunately it is what it is. That's just racing. So here we've got the finals. Johan Stemmet versus Johandre Dumini. Like we can see there in the entry. Beautiful entry from both drivers. A little bit of a hesitation there from Johandre. Could have gotten a bit deeper over there. And then we've got the inner clip coming around with the wall runs. Like we see there, Johandre just losing a bit of speed and proximity over there. And then last we've got Johandre's lead run. Like we see immediately, Johan Stemmet has much more consistent proximity across the whole run. And then right there on the switch, he still has the proximity and everything. And that's the thing with drifting, like you want to see consistent proximity and you want to see the chase car following the lead car as much as possible. And with that, Johan Stemmet is our winner for the day. And this video also concludes the Drift Outlaws series for 2024. We do have one more fun day coming up on the 23rd of November, if I remember correctly. That would be on the Killarney Oval. It's just going to be a fun day. Most likely see the drivers just having fun, maybe even running some drift trains and stuff. So yeah, if you can make it, come out, come watch the guys drive. It's always a fun time seeing them drive. I do believe we'll be hitting the track from about 2 p.m. on the 23rd of November. So yeah, and then if you do enjoy this content and if you enjoy the things that I've been putting out on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like the video, drop a like. If you think I can do anything better, maybe just comment that for me down below. The more I know, the more I can make it better for you to watch further. And yeah, see you on the next one.